wabarakatuh. Thanksgiving for the presence of Allah who has given mercy to us all. My name is Melia Putri. Okay, on this occasion we will discuss material about sociolinguistics and anthropological linguistics. Introduce my colleague. Let's watch the video show. Sociolinguistic definition according to expert Halliday, 1970. Sociolinguistics is institutional linguistics. Deal with the relation between a language and the people who use it. Priden and Holmes, 1972, mentioned that linguistics is the study of language as part of culture and society. Delheims, 1973, say sociolinguistics could be taken to refer to use of linguistic data and analysis in other disciplines concurrent with social life and conversely. To use of social data and analysis in linguistics. Tragill, 1974, say sociolinguistics is that part of linguistics which is concurrent with language as social and cultural phenomenon. Creeper and Windowson, 1975, suggests that sociolinguistics is the study of language in operations. Its purpose is to show how the conversation of language use relate to other aspects of culture. Hansen, 1980, say sociolinguistics, the study of language in relation to society. Nababan, 1984, said sociolinguistics is the study or discussion of language in relation to speakers of that language as members of society. So, it can be concluded that sociolinguistics is a sub-discipline of linguistics that studies the relationship between language and society. Sociolinguistics study of literary language. First, sociolinguistics. Sociolinguistics considers the relationship between two things, namely linguistics in terms of language and sociology in terms of society. In the process of interaction, both speaker and listener always consider who they are talking to, where, when, on what problems, and in what situations, and so on. These things show that sociolinguistics views language as a social system and a communication system and is part of a particular society and culture. From the description above, it can be concluded that sociolinguistics is an interdisciplinary study that examines linguistic problems in relation to social, situational, and cultural experts. Second, bilingualism, a community or area that has or uses two languages. It is called a bilingual region or community. People who can use two languages are called bilingual. Nababan 25, 1993, colon 27. So, bilingualism is the habit of using bilingualism in interactions with other people. When we think about the ability of a person to be bilingual, we are called bilinguality. The logical relationships between bilingualism and bilinguality is that not all who have bilingualism practice bilingualism in everyday life, because this depends on the linguistic situation of the environment. Third, diglossia. Events involving the use of two or more languages used by a person or group of people in a society, namely what is called diglossia. Diglossia is a social phenomenon. A society is called diglossic if in that society two or more languages are used as a means of communication, each of which has a different function. Broadly speaking, it can be stated the characteristics of diglossia, which are a reflection of the above, meaning as follows. First, the use of two variations of one language or two languages that exist in a society. Second, the two variations of languages have their own roles in the society of the uses. Fourth, the synergistic relationship of bilingualism and diglossia. Fishman in Suito 1983, colon 58, and Al-Wasila 1989, colon 144, states that there are four types of speech communities that show synergistic relationships, namely, first, diglossic and bilingual societies, diglossia and bilingualism. Second, people who are bilingual but not bilingual, diglossia without bilingualism. Third, people who are bilingualism without diglossia. Fourth, people who are not diglossic and bilingual, neither diglossia nor bilingualism. 5. Language contact events. McKay 1968, colon 554, explained that language contact is the influence of one language with another language directly or indirectly. The process of language contact in a linguistic interaction must know the role relationship that exists between conversation participants. The important thing to note is that language contact is a joint production. Language contact even occur in situations of social context, namely situations in which a person learns a second language in his community. In such situations, it can be distinguished between the language learning situations, the language acquisition process, and the language learning person. Suito 1983, colon 39. In social interaction, language contact influences and influences each other.